You know what's one of the worst feelings in the world? It's when you have an opportunity in front of you and you don't fully capitalize on it. You don't seize it the way you know that you could have. And it stings because you know opportunities like this don't come around often. Maybe it's a girl that you fumbled, or maybe it's, if you're a fan of a sports team, everything aligned, you had the right roster on the right contracts, and you were sure that was gonna be your year, and somehow it fell apart. You feel like you just fumbled the bag, and it sucks. It makes you stay awake at night. You kick yourself about it for years to come. And right now you might feel that way with AI. You might hear everybody talking about how AI is gonna make you rich and it's the future and blah, blah, blah. But maybe you're sitting on the sidelines thinking, where do I even start? Maybe you're using ChatGPT as a therapist and you're like, okay, well, what else can I do here? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing to make millions with AI over the coming years, and how I'm pairing AI and another booming industry to fully capitalize on this situation right now, because this is a short window. This is not going to last forever. It's like when the internet first came out, the first movers won, and they became millionaires, multimillionaires, and billionaires because of it. So right now there's a similar opportunity, and I'm gonna show you how to capitalize on it. All right, I know that was a very dramatic intro, and you might be thinking, who is this guru that's about to sell me something on AI for the next however many minutes? Long story short, my name is Ben Bader. Over the past few years, I've run a marketing agency where I partner with people who sell coaching and courses online, and AI is helping me do that at 10 times the efficiency and probably 5 times the quality. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how it works. The popular models when it comes to using AI as a service provider are the AI agency, AI arbitrage, and AI integrator. You've probably heard people talking about these online, and you thought to yourself, well, that sounds interesting. Basically, you install AI tools into local businesses. This could be an AI caller, or you help them get leads, and it's basically SMMA rebranded as an AI agency. And it sounds good in theory. It's not a bad business model, and there are pros to it. There's endless prospects that you can work with. Technically, you can kind of build it once and release it to the client, so you're not constantly having to keep up with it and keep building new things. And you have a clean pricing structure. You're typically charging a small monthly retainer or a one-time setup fee plus a monthly retainer, but that's gonna be anywhere from the $1,000 to $5,000 range, typically if you're more of a beginner in the space. And it's an in-demand service. There are plenty of local businesses who AI sounds sexy to. You can be the guy that's like, oh, I'll install the AI appointment setters into your business and help you close more deals using AI systems. And people will buy, but there are some cons to it. It's highly competitive. Everybody and their mother is hitting up the small local businesses, the roofers, the real estate agents, the solar businesses. These guys get pitched dozens, if not hundreds of times a day, every single day. And there's an excess in variables outside of your control. This is one thing that will really start to annoy you in business. When you first start out, you're like, all right, let's solve one problem. Like, for example, when I got into business, I was running a lead gen agency for basketball trainers. And I would get them leads, I would help them try to convert those leads through a CRM that I would set up for them. But it was still on them at the end of the day to get them in the door and then make sure that the customer has a good experience and they stay as a long-term client. And I couldn't do anything about that. So those little variables that are outside of your control start to really piss you off, because you're like, damn, I should be making more money, but you're fumbling my bag. Next, demanding clientele. These people, they're your local businesses that are like skeptical of marketing to begin with. They're gonna think of you as some other commodity who's just kind of pitching them, and they're gonna demand you to respond to them at 9 p.m. because their business is their baby at the end of the day, and I understand it, but they are gonna be very demanding. Next, again, it's a commoditized service. So there's plenty of people that are reaching out offering the exact same thing that you're offering, and you don't really have any unique edge. You don't have any leverage or special advantage that'll set you apart. Lastly, or the last two things here, is it's lower margin and hard to scale. If you want to scale this type of business, let's say your goal is to get to 20K a month and you're charging roughly $2,000 a month, you're gonna need 10 clients. And what you're not gonna account for is those clients leaving and dealing with churn and hiring team members to talk to 10 clients. And when you get a text at 10 p.m. on a Friday night when you're out with your boys and you're like, this is the freedom? This doesn't feel like freedom. So it's harder to scale because you need to stack more clients to make more money. And lastly, you have no incentive to deliver because it doesn't necessarily affect how much money you make. If you're getting paid a flat retainer or a one-time setup fee, then all you have to do is build the thing and you don't really care how it performs. So eventually your client is gonna be like, okay, I can replace you with somebody in Pakistan who will do this for $2 an hour. But I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you and tell you that none of these three businesses can work. They 100% can work. And at the end of the day, if you're at least trying and you're in the arena and you're trying to make some money, you're gonna feel better than you would had you not started a business. But it will be more difficult. You're not fully creating leverage. You're not capitalizing on this opportunity as best as you could. And as you scale, it'll become more complex, it'll become more of a headache, you'll have to manage people constantly, and again, at the end of the day, you are replaceable. So let's talk about the model that I'm using that kind of flips this on its head. And it's less saturated. Instead of having to get 10 clients to make $20,000 a month plus, you only need 1 to 3 clients. It's simple, it's very in demand, and it's a rapidly growing market, which is easier to create leverage. This is called the AI operator system. And this system is allowing people like Elijah to make $25,000 a month from just one client. He scaled them to $100K a month on a 25% rev share, hit $25K from one client. Aloe here started just a few months ago in April. He took a client from $0 to $100,000 a month in 90 days, and he got a $34,000 wire from just that one client. And next I have Kesra here, who hit record months with a couple of his clients. He helped a fitness coaching offer make $165,000 last month at the time of I'm recording this in June. And he has a rev share on this client, will make over 15K from that one client, plus another one here. So long story short, these three people are making a lot of money with just 1 to 3 clients by leveraging the exact system that I'm about to show you. And if you've heard the gold rush analogy, when everyone digs for gold, sell shovels. These faces probably look familiar. You're probably familiar with Iman and Alex Hormozi, and you understand that at the end of the day, both of them sell coaching. Both of them are selling digital products and information online, and they're kind of at the top of the pyramid. They're at the pinnacle. You've probably seen WAP, you've probably seen School. These are nearly billion-dollar companies who are fighting to get a really large share of this opportunity right now. The online education industry is projected to reach over $280 billion by 2028, and everybody here knows this, and everybody's here trying to capitalize on it, meaning they're all digging for gold. And again, when everybody's digging for gold, you should be selling shovels. So here's how myself and these 3 guys who I showed you above are getting a piece of this pie and fully capitalizing on the growth in this industry, pairing it with AI and using it to make a lot of money so we can get rich and have fun with our lives. Here's the 3-step AI operator model. It's pretty simple. First, you're gonna partner with 1 to 3 experts in a specific field and help them launch a course or coaching program, or just help them optimize their existing info business. Next, you're gonna close them as a client, optionally charge a 3 to 15K setup fee. If you have some experience, you can definitely get away with charging something for setup. If you're a complete beginner and it's gonna make it easier to get clients, then just completely wipe that setup fee and just get the rev share. The rev share is where you're gonna make real money long-term anyway. And step 3 is you're gonna use AI to facilitate the launch and scale and get each client to 50 to 100K a month so you can make 20 to 30K a month plus from just one client. And now congratulations, you're making more than a doctor and you didn't have to cheat on some Chinese kid through med school. I probably shouldn't say that joke, but let's continue. So I know I'm throwing crazy numbers out of my ass right now, and you're like, okay, Ben, like I get the opportunity here, but are you gonna show me anything in depth? Yes, I will, but first I just wanna make sure that you're locked in and you fully understand how big this opportunity is. I showed you some amazing results before, but I have even crazier ones. This is Brady, who I interviewed on my channel, and he made $250,000 in 1 month from one client. That is not normal. In no way can I promise you the same results, but it is possible, and it's absolutely insane. Philip here made $87,000 at the time that we recorded our interview, and that was in 1 month from just 3 clients, and since then he's actually scaled past $100,000 a month, just 5 months after transitioning out of sales full time. Here's Danny, who's making about $150K a month from one client. As you can see here, this beautiful hunk of metal is his Porsche 911 Turbo S. And lastly, I have Jace here, who made $204,000 in 1 month from one client. And again, all of these are not typical. These are the NBA players of this info agency AI operator sport. And I know I'm simplifying it a lot, so you're probably thinking, but it can't be that simple, right? Yes and no. Let me fully break down this model for you. First, you have to understand how a high-ticket coaching business works. You see people like this on social media every day. You're probably familiar with the digital product, course seller, guru phenomenon that we have going on right now. And the way that this works is somebody builds an audience, they create authority through their content, and they post videos on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and then they garner attention. They find people who want to learn more from them and are willing to pay to learn more from them. So then they make an offer and they apply their knowledge into this kind of package where it's a group coaching program and course content and one-on-one access to them and a community. And they typically charge between $2,000 to $10,000 for this coaching program. And the way that it works is I can even show you, I have a coaching program where I teach people how to do exactly what I'm showing you right now because it's made me a lot of money over the past few years and I'm actively running this business with clients to this day. But basically, if you want to join my coaching program, it's the same as any other. You're going to go to a page that looks like this. This video is just like a short explainer video where I walk you through who I am, what the program is, who it's for, and who should or shouldn't join. You watch this video, you apply for coaching here. Once you go through the application, my team reaches out, they get you scheduled on a call. You hop on that call and we see if it's a good fit for you. And if so, then we charge you for the coaching, we get you inside and we help you get the result that you want. Pretty simple. And by the way, while I'm here, I mean, just look at all of this proof from all of these people who are super successful doing exactly what I'm showing you in this video. And you can go to the description if you want to apply for coaching and join Artisan Lab. But anyway, let's get back to how all this works. So like I said, you're gonna have a sales team that closes the deals for you. And once the offer is validated and everything's working correctly, then it just becomes a game of back-end optimization. How do we get more traffic? How do we use a better funnel, convert more of the traffic, hire the team, the operations, blah, blah, blah. All of that goes into scaling a coaching business long-term. So let's just pause there real quick and think about how many moving pieces there are in this business. And if you're a coach or a course creator or just somebody who's making content online, there's no way that you can do all of this on your own. Like your main job and my client's main job is always to just make more content. Like get me more traffic, I will figure out the rest of the pie. I'll figure out how to convert the traffic, and that's why they pay me a 10 to 20 to even 50% rev share sometimes, because I'm taking all of the systems and operations and the tedious stuff off their plate, and it's helping them make probably 50 to 100% more money than they can make on their own, and sometimes well more than that. And I know this might sound like a lot, and to be honest, a few years ago it was, but that was before AI. So let's break down how you're actually gonna help coaches and course sellers as an AI operator. So you might help them with the VSL and funnel build out, like I just showed you on my landing page. I had that explainer video there. Somebody would build that for me if I didn't know how to do it myself or if I didn't have the time or desire to do it myself. Same with email and retargeting. I have an email list that I personally send daily emails to, but for my clients, I'm sending daily emails for them on their behalf. So I pretend basically to be them and I'm their copywriter. I can help them optimize their offers. This is the sales process and the pricing, the structure, all of that. Plus paid ads and attribution, and then analytics and tracking KPIs. I know I just threw a whole lot at you and you might be thinking like, I don't even know what the fuck KPI stands for. Believe me, I dropped out of college with a 1.1 GPA. This shit is not this complicated. And you can use this thing here to pretty much teach you everything you need to know. So before I continue and get into even more of the nitty gritty, I just want to show you that this is something that I'm actively doing to this day. In June 2025, here are payments that I got from a bunch of clients for multi-five figures. Here's a $28,000 payment, a $16,000 payment, a $13,300 payment, and an $11,000 payment. And if I go over here and show you all of these wire transfers that I've gotten from single clients from 1 month worth of work, you'll see that this is something that I'm actively doing to this day. Here's an $18,000 payment that I got on April 8th, 2025. Here's all the way back in 2024 in February where I got a $37,000 wire from a client. That client paid me $25,500 the month before. And then here's a client that I've had for almost a year who's been paying me $19K, $31K, $17K, 5 figures a month, pretty much every month for the last year. So now that you have a more in-depth understanding of how this business model works, let me show you just how simple it is in action. So I'm gonna pretend like I signed me as a client. I would use one of my clients, but obviously just for privacy's sake, I don't want to expose who I'm working with and how their systems work. But let's just say I'm my own client. So if you go to my YouTube here, you'll see all of my videos posting content about what I do and how my program works and how my business model works. This is an example of one. My goal, and everybody who sells information online's goal, is to create content that builds trust, creates authority, and helps the audience understand that they can achieve the desired result. So everything you would ever need to know about me or any client that you ever work with is all in their content. And previously, you'd have to sort through all of their content manually and get a really good understanding of who they are and how their business works, and it would be a pain in the ass. And then you'd have to learn how to write copy yourself and spend hours and hours actually writing the copy and doing all of the systems and everything. But now, AI can do it for you in 30 minutes tops. So basically, the way to have AI do most of the work for you is to take all of this content and then get another piece of content or an SOP or some kind of guide that is basically a breakdown of how to perform a specific action in the business. So that could be writing a VSL or writing emails. Like, you can take all of my content, find a Hormozi video where he talks about how to write good copy, how to write a VSL, use AI to give it all the information about me and my business, and then have it write in Hormozi's framework. And just like that, you're Alex Hormozi, but you probably don't have a lot of muscles or a huge beard or a wife. Never mind. So there's two ways to do this. There's the free way and the fast way. I'll show you the free way first. If I wanted to grab all my content and put it into ChatGPT, what I could do is go to each individual video, shut up Ben, and go to the transcript of the video, which I believe would be down here, show transcript, and then I would basically just copy this whole thing. Maybe you can download it as well. There's also probably tools that'll help you do this. But anyway, you get a bunch of transcripts from each of the YouTube videos. You could do the same thing with Instagram content and then just go over to ChatGPT, paste it in there. And then let's say you actually do want to use Hormozi's VSL framework to write the explainer video that would go on the landing page. You just find a video about Alex Hormozi explains how to create the perfect VSL. You get the transcription of that, you put it into ChatGPT, and just like that, congratulations, you are artificial intelligence Alex Hormozi. You can repeat the same process for emails or literally any other piece of the business. Now, I did say that's the free, slower way, so I'll show you the fast, more expensive way. I already have all of my content, not all of them, but a lot of my Instagram videos right here in this tool called Poppy AI. By no means is it a necessary tool. I think it's like $300 for the year, so if you're completely poor, I'm sorry. I'll put an affiliate link in the description. And if you have some money to spend and want to speed up your workflow, this will be tremendously valuable. So as you can see, again, I have all of my Instagram content here. I have a bunch of my YouTube videos here. And then I plugged in the Alex Hormozi explains how to create the perfect VSL here. So what I'm gonna do is just, I don't know why that's there. I'm just gonna go over to the chat here. Based on the Hormozi VSL framework, write a VSL for Ben Bader and embeds tone and his style for his coaching program, Artisan Lab. This is a really shitty prompt, but just to show you what you can get by doing this, let's hit enter and see what it spits out. All right, here we go. Hey, if you're a copywriter, agency owner, or closer making under 20K a month, this is for you. Have you ever laid in bed at night in frustration knowing that you could be doing better, but despite your best efforts, you're still stuck dealing with shitty clients who pay you peanuts? You want to make 50, 100, or even 200K a month, but you're tired of begging for $2,000 retainers and constantly dealing with churn. That sounds very familiar with how I introed this video, because the only reason that it can talk like me so well is because I gave it all of this content and all of my videos that it now knows exactly who I am and exactly how I talk. And now it goes into my story, which this is crazy. Back in 2021, I was running a local lead gen agency working with basketball trainers. I told you how I was doing that earlier in this video. Had a light bulb moment, asked who's making the most money online, the course sellers, the gurus. Holy shit, this is actually fucking insane, and I might steal this VSL. So thank you, Poppy and Alex Hormozi. Today I've made over $2.5 million using this exact model. I live in Miami, drive my dream car, and work with some of the biggest names in the info product space. I'm not special, normal kid, blah, blah, blah. This is insane. So if I was my own client, I now have a full VSL that I just scripted for my client. And 2 years ago, this would have taken me hours and hours. I probably would have charged $5,000 to $10,000 just for this. And now AI can do it in seconds. And by the way, if you want to read through this VSL, I'll just scroll through it and you can pause and read at any point just so you can see how good it is. But this is really solid. And you can use this same kind of system for emails or sales call frameworks or literally any other piece of the business. I wasn't really planning on showing you guys this, but let me pull up this master tracking sheet that I made for a client recently. I know this looks pretty complex with a lot of numbers and you might be thinking like, wow, this kid really knows how to use Excel. I fucking hate Google Sheets. I hate Excel. I don't know how to use any of this, but ChatGPT walked me through this entire setup. Like I would take screenshots of what I was trying to build. I would describe to it what I'm trying to build, take screenshots, and now I'm tracking every KPI in my clients' businesses just on this little sheet here. And believe me when I tell you, I would have never done this before AI because I wouldn't have known how to do it. But now, all I have to do to know every metric in this business is come look at this sheet. It's completely automated. My client really appreciates it because we can know exactly what's working in the business and what isn't working, how many calls we're getting on a daily basis, show up rate, basically every metric in the business. And this is just a small optimization that you'd make with the client as you start working with them. So anyway, what I just showed you is a full example of how you can use AI to create leverage in your business. Instead of having to get dozens of clients if you want to scale and feel like a commodity, you just find experts who have an audience on social media, you help them create their course, you help them launch and or scale their coaching program, you get a rev share between 20 to even 50%, which is rare, but it does happen, and you basically scale with them as a partner. Instead of having to get dozens of clients, you make 20, 50, 100K a month with just 1 to 3 clients. And the reason this works is because you're combining 2 gold rushes here. Like AI is super hot, it's revolutionizing everything. Digital products, everybody and their mother is a fucking guru and a course seller. You're basically using AI to sell shovels for you in a gold rush. That sounds fucking sick. If I were you, that's the business that I would want to be running right now because that's what I'm running. That's what a lot of my friends, honestly, are running as well. So if you don't want to miss out on the AI and digital product gold rush, I'd highly recommend considering this model as the AI business to start in 2025. If you want to learn from me directly and be around people who are getting results like the guys that I showed you in this video who are making 20 to even 250K a month from one client, go to the description and apply for Artisan Lab. In no way can I promise you results like the people that I just showed you, but again, it is possible. Anyway, like, subscribe, comment, share this with your grandma. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.